My name's Tor, and in 2021 I gave a TEDx talk about mental fitness, and one of the key elements of that talk was about fasting. Now, at the time of recording this, I've done fasts for about 6 years of my life, and the longest time period I've gone fasting is about 60 hours with no food at all. A 2014 study by Volta Longo determined that fasting has the potential to delay aging and help prevent and treat diseases. So, as a massive fan of fasting myself, I figured why not give the 2023 Ramadan Fast a try. This gives you a chance to participate in fasting over a prolonged period of time and just record any noticeable changes or benefits and see if I could keep up my training routine. Now, I am not a Muslim, so I am not going to talk about any other elements of Ramadan such as prayer, such as abstinence or things like that. I'm only going to talk about fasting. Ramadan is basically an intermittent fast. So how that looks is you go X amount of time each day without food or water. The way it works in Ramadan is between sunrise and sunset, you cannot eat or drink. So your intermittent period is that period between sunrise and sunset. In the UK, that meant that your eating window was roughly 8 p.m. till about 4:30 a.m, give or take, depending on the day. Now, as someone who's quite experienced in fasting, I follow principles whenever I run a fast. And the principles I use are taken from Arnold Ehret's work in the Mucusless Diet Healing System book and Rational Fasting book. Recommend you check those out. In those books, he said, breaking a fast is just as important as the fast itself, which is absolutely true. During Ramadan, first thing you're going to notice is dry mouth, because you're not drinking water for long periods of time. Your body's used to drinking water throughout the day. If you go for a whole period without drinking water, you're going to get dry mouth. Arnold Ehret suggests that you break a fast with digestible fruits, easily digestible fruits. The reason why this works so well, especially with the Ramadan fast, is because fruits are mostly water. So when you break a fast with fruits, not only are you going to be able to hydrate yourself, but also you're going to get that food in that's going to energize you throughout the rest of the day as well. The most important thing you're going to need to remember when doing this is keeping on top of your calorie intake, especially if you are training in the gym. The easy way to do this is using an app like MyFitnessPal to just plug in how many calories you're eating. When it comes to training though, this is tricky to know how to incorporate it. This year, because of the hours that Ramadan fell in, it meant that you were only going to be able to eat after 8 p.m. So, if you're someone who struggles to train without any fuel in you, you are only going to be able to train after those hours. A lot of gyms close at 9, 10 p.m. My gym is 24 hours, so I'm able to go later. I was able to go at midnight or 1 a.m. or whatever, and the gym was full at that time because there were so many other people also doing Ramadan. But maybe it's not necessarily for you. So in that case, you have to adjust your workout accordingly. What I would suggest is doing something like training before you break the fast. Right before. So as soon as you finish training, you come straight through and you break the fast like that. That could be an easy way to do it. So you're not going the whole day just thinking about when you're next going to eat or being drained from your exercise. When I train for boxing. So that means I do mostly boxing workouts, plyometrics, cardio, bag work, pad work, and all this type of stuff, as well as explosive push and pull exercises. But I also do a couple of weight training exercises a week. So the way I managed this was I didn't go crazy. I made sure that on all my weight training days, I just did 80% of what I can do. I didn't try and do maximum. I just tried to maintain. Remember, it's only 30 days that you're doing this for, so you're just trying to maintain. The way I structured this was I usually do about 4 or 5 workouts a week, mixed between boxing and weights, as well as runs as well. During Ramadan, I wanted to preserve as much hydration as I could, so I didn't do any runs anymore. I cut those out, and the only cardio I did was strictly boxing. So this meant my workouts went down to probably about 3 or 4 times a week, and my weight training sessions, like I said, I didn't go crazy with them. I just did decent sized weights and then focused on the boxing. Boxing was hard because I wasn't able to do it during the eating hours. I had to do it during the fasted hours. And that's because my coach was only available during those hours. To be honest, working out when fasted I think is actually easier. The only thing that I would benefit from is having water, because the dry mouth does become irritating, if nothing else. But working out without food in you makes you feel lighter, makes you feel like I'm more mobile, makes you feel more agile. When in the ring and doing ring work, it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to pop off quick movements. and things like that. So I prefer it without. I'd recommend intermittent fasting in general, to be honest. I already do this for 14 to 16 hours per day. Longer fasts you need to be a bit more advanced for. If you are completely new to fasting, I'd suggest starting out with an intermittent fast. Do that first. Get into that habit of going 12, 14, 16, 18 hours without food. And then pivot over to trying longer periods, 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours. I'm working my way up to being able to do 7 days and then maybe 14, 21 as I get more and more advanced. So that's my plan moving forward. What did I learn from the Ramadan experience? I'd say that dry fasting is a really good way to start the day actually. I used to always do intermittent fast but with water only. So it's a water fast. But I'd rather do a dry fast now. I find it much easier when you start your day to not have anything at all, and then essentially food or water acts as a reward mechanism for your brain. So you're not trying to get it as soon as you wake up. Instead, you do work, you go to the gym, you do exercise, you do whatever it is you need to do at the start of the day, and then you have your water and your food after. Obviously, for religious reasons, they fast from sunrise till sunset. Personally, during the rest of the year, I'm going to focus on fasting as long as that period, like 16 hours for example, but it's going to be during hours that I choose, hours that make the most sense around my schedule. Because if you're working 9 to 5 for example, it's very difficult for you to fast sunrise to sunset because you've been working that whole time, you've got no energy, and now you have to come home and eat then. So I would choose hours that are most applicable to me in my life situation. Now, as I mentioned, I went a lot deeper on things like fasting, affirmations, meditation, dopamine, things like that on my TEDx talk that I did a few years ago. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But I'm going to be going a lot deeper on those topics on this YouTube channel. So if you like what you saw today, make sure you leave a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video.